I guess, live in Steph or basically do things that's getting to be very questionable behavior. Because I always feel like when you're doing these type of activities, there's always another girl that's following behind you that may not realize what you're doing. So I invited a few guests to come on. Hopefully they'll be here. It's a little early. It is still, well, it's 10 o'clock at night. So hopefully everybody could come on and have a conversation with me. And we talk about a few things and the things of the things. And August the 24th. So I wanted to have a conversation about this because for some reason it was a girl that was arguing about her actions and the fact that she was very compassionate about how she feels. And due to the fact that I'm always the one doing all these deaths and these murders and the girls getting killed and stuff at hand, I feel as though it's up to me to at least try to put a bug in the air. The thing about it is, we all know those will listen and those will not listen. You can't make people do what you want them to do. You can only just put it out there. These are grown individual people, and they're going to do what they want to do. So hopefully everybody's having a good. What's today? Today is the. Today is Tuesday. It's been very different. Hello, informative man TV. How are you? Did you want to come on here? Let me just put the link here in case you want to come on and you want to join. To have a conversation. I'm always willing to put somebody that can basically speak. So here is the link right there. Join apps and stuff, and you can come on here and have a conversation. How you feel about it, about the girls tricking men, and the dangers of it. Because some reason I feel as though um, when they're doing this thing, I don't know if it's for catfishing or a lot of reasons, but I'm gonna wait before I give my opinion. So I want more people to join so we can all. I don't want to start talking and then have to talk all over again. So I age year. So I put the link right there. If anybody want to come on, just come on with me. Let's have the conversation. Because at the end of the day, you actually are helping somebody. You're helping somebody who probably thought it was the right way. Um, I sent you the link, sweetie. It's right here. I sent it. If you stroke, I'm gonna send it again. Unless you're already on the page. Let me see. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay. Okay, you're the inside man TV. Thank you for coming on here. Let me subscribe to your channel. I just subscribed, so this is cool. So now I got you on my friend list. So this is real cool. Lord Jesus. So if you go inside your invite box, there is a thing where you could just join it. I already sent you the invite. You just have to go in your inbox. It says, uh-oh, here we go. This is cool. He's coming. And like I said before, I feel as though it's a conversation needed. Also feel as though it's a good conversation because you're going to help keep another girl alive because we have younger girls that are watching, copycats, and they think this is what to do. They say it's fun. And at the end of the day, their parents need them to come home. And now their children are missing because they've been murdered and stuff. Hey, Gia. So we have to speak out to try to help those who may be misinformed of a lot of information they don't really know. So I got my Jesus juice. You have to turn your camera on. Yeah, so I just feel as though it's something that needs to be talked about. There's so much in this conversation I want to talk about because you know me, I'm always scourging around and I'm always finding out stuff. And sometimes it's positive, sometimes it's not so positive. Hey, how are you, Man's TV?
How you doing?
Okay,
Uh,
how's it?
I'm doing
Okay.
fine. I actually came on. I got on here tonight because my man smokes political smoke is supposed to. We're supposed to be having a show tonight on Haps with all the guys. A lot of brothers getting together, talking political talk and social issues and cultural issues. And then I saw you on here, and this is a topic that's a hot topic. You know, um, nobody likes to be used or manipulated, but we know that these things happen and you got to use discernment. You got to definitely assess people. I've lived long enough, my 51 years, to know you really got to vet the people that you bring into your life. And there's a lot
Right.
of tricks that go down. And there's a lot of things that can happen. A lot of people like to manipulate, what have you. People use sex, mental games, all sort
Hmm.
of things.
You're right. The thing about it is, I agree with you. The thing about it is, due to the fact that sometimes, first, I can't make a person do what I want them to do because you know that everybody's an individual. You can only try to do the best you can, but
Yeah.
sometimes people want to do it their way. You know how it goes. You can put it out there, and unfortunately, the wrong everybody who should hear it should hear it, not going to hear it, but the ones that shouldn't really hear because they already know better. But this is the thing about this conversation is that when it comes to the girls and stuff, I don't know if they're gaslighting because sometimes people do things just for views and go viral. I tricked him, so we don't know if it's planned because people do a lot of things. We're watching people do skits. We're watching people do cop skits as far as a cop jumping out and a
Yeah.
person beating on a cop. We know this is not true, but as a person that doesn't know the internet, you probably think this is real.
Hmm. Yeah.
Because I
I
think,
would
yeah, God,
I
I'm
would think
sorry.
I think it's I'm gonna just say this. I think it's dangerous to gaslight people in this way. I think the best thing is to be honest and tell people who you are and let them accept you for who you are. Definitely, if you are a transgender person or transsexual, however people want to label or identify themselves, and if you're getting involved with someone who may not be someone that has been in that lifestyle, then you should let them know what the deal is versus someone who may be aware, they may have been involved in the lifestyle, so it's nothing new to them. But if you're dealing with a man who doesn't know what the deal is, I think you should be very honest because I'm going to be honest with you. Not it doesn't make it right, but when you do lead people on, you must prepare yourself for the consequences. And unfortunately, those consequences could be losing your life because you don't know what's in the mind set of the person, how they'll take it. They may not be able to just take it and say, okay, this is what happened. Let me move on. They may want to take it more serious. And this is how you get these situations where people end up dead.
So you identify as a straight man or bisexual,
No,
pansexual,
I'm not bisexual. I'm a straight man. I'm not bisexual, any of those sort of thing. The subject matter that you bring up is an important conversation to have because
but this,
there are certainly people of that background of that sexual orientation who might have a desire for what we would call quote unquote straight men, and if that's what you're into and what you like, you should at least let them know um, who you are and what the deal is. So
you know why a lot of times the girls do this? Because unfortunately, I don't know if you know too much about the LGBTQ, but a lot of straight men are in our bed. And even though they say they don't know, sometimes they know,
mhm.
sometimes they don't know. But unfortunately, when it comes down to him, when you show up, he becomes this whole different person than we know, which
Right.
means that when and let's be clear, I'm not sticking up for these girls tricking anybody because I feel like the same way you get him is the same way you're gonna lose him. And my
Right.
thing is this: is that just because he's cute, don't mean he won't kill you. Black women have been killed for years and they have their own husbands and everything like that. For
Mm-hmm.
some reason, I feel as though, my personal opinion, due to the fact that some of the girls come from gay and then they get the men mixed up with gay men and straight men, because
Mm-hmm.
reality is that you can't tell what a straight man looks like. You can't tell what a gay man looks like unless they let you know. There are a lot of men out here that seem very gay and they're not. There are a lot of women out here that seem like soft studs and they love men. So we can't sit back and say, well, you look this way, so this is how you are. But unfortunately, when it comes to these younger girls, stuff like that, the overwhelming amount of guys, straight men that are in the LGBTQ having sex with them, and not even the gay men, but yet and still, they kind of like shy away from it. Prime example, I know a guy who owns a corporation and stuff, and
Mm.
he we went out on a date one time. Now he didn't want no one to know who he was. So he dressed as a cross dresser because he was a big time guy to order corporations. So he was in drag. So people wouldn't recognize, it's not funny. People wouldn't recognize him, and he really got dolled up. And I was impressed because I'm in shock because that's not what I thought. But he
Mm-hmm.
was like, listen, I have to do this because if people find out. So now I'm looking at him and stuff like that. And he was very actively moving. And the thing about it that get me with a lot of straight men, and once again, I'm not co-signing what the girls do. A lot of straight men are in our bed. A lot of gang members are in our bed. A lot of people who say, I can't stand them things. I hate them. They're in our bed. They're doing all these, and remind you, now they're not coming to the bedroom with a masculine alpha masculinity. They are the hardcore guy, which you could probably see on Twitter and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
They are this hardcore guy that you would cross the street if you see him because you feel
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, I feel a little threatened,
Mm-hmm.
but he's in our bed and his body's lifted up as like a female. But in front of you, his whole testosterone, he doing the extra. And in front of you, he's gonna say, I can't stand them things. I can't
Yeah.
stand them. And I think this is the problem that the girls have when it
Well,
comes to
let me just tell you something. I see it all the time because I work with guys in the prison system. I'm a therapist, and I see guys that you would define as masculine who are dabbling in various things, and then they go back to the community, which is a concern. I have to be honest. When they go back to the community and now they want to be straight again, right? They want to be with women or they want to go back to their wife. That's a big problem in the prison system with guys that are dabbling in prison and then going back out to the community trying to reclaim maybe what they once were when they were in the community, but they also can put women at risk who think that they're straight or they were straight and that they are on the up and up like that, and now they've been dipping and diving when they were incarcerated, and then they come to the community. Um, there are certainly see. This is the thing I don't like. Ever since Oprah Winfrey did that show years ago, there was this sort of this is just my opinion how I feel about it. There was this sort of narrative that was being put out there that black men, because anytime they talk about black people in general, no matter what your sexuality is, society magnifies it as if we're the only ones that engage in these kind of lifestyles, right? But when that interview took place, there was this overwhelming narrative that okay, all black men are on the down low. When in fact, yes, there are black men who are on the down low, just like there are white men on the down low, Asian men on the down low, Latino men, all different race of men who may be on what we call the down low. But what happens when it comes to the black man in particular is that anything that is seen as a negative or an outlier in society, something different, black people are the ones who are mainly labeled and we're magnified 10 times over. Obviously, there are men out there, black men and all other race of men, who are dabbling in lifestyles and hiding in a lie. And then there are black men who are
And
comfortable with
women.
their sexuality, who they are, and then they get kind of shuffled into this stereotype that that's what he must be too.
Let me ask you this something. I know a lot of, well, I know wardens and stuff like that, and I definitely know a lot of with some people inside the prison correction off. I know quite a few of them, but I'm not. And also one of the guys from Oprah Winfrey. But the thing is this: if you know my that means I know a little too much. The thing is, unfortunately, when it comes to a black man, he's supposed to be like the strongest of everything, and unfortunately, it's so much put on him to be strong. It's so much put on him to be all these different things. And then if you have a black mother, she could either raise him to be a man or she could raise him to be who she wants him to be, which means that she's never going to meet him. She's going to create him into what she wants him to be, which a lot of times he ends up hating women because he feels as though she was so dominant in his life. So when he finally gets a woman, he's more abusive, and everything he wanted to do to her, he wanted to do it to his mother. He's doing to this girl. Not set in stone. Not every man and stuff like that. Everybody moves differently. But the thing about it is, when it comes down to it, with the correction officers and the men that work in prison, like the warden that I met, that came when I was working in New York, he came to my location stuff. We ended up getting into a really bad argument because he wanted me to be more aggressive with him, and I said that's not me. So he became very angry, and I had to block him. But the thing about it is that a lot of times things are not presented within ourselves. And unfortunately, a lot of times men feel free in prison because they could finally be themselves. They finally could be with another dude. They finally could live their life. They're not free out here because they know the judgment, ridicule. But in prison, they can finally be free to be the man they want to be. And then they can sneak and duck and dive. Unfortunately, I dated a lot of felons and a lot of men from prison. So, of course, they share stories with me. But the problem is that I noticed that a lot of them, the women will say, you keep going back, you keep going back, you keep going back, because he's finally free in prison.
Mm, mm. Well, I mean, this is the thing, though.
It's a lot.
This is one of the problems, and I'm just going to say this: everybody has the right to their lifestyle, who they want to love, who they want to be with. But for me, as a black man who is heterosexual, one of the things that I've grown up with all my life that's been a concern to me is that historically in this society, in this world that we live in, called America, there has been a attack over and over again on the black male image, particularly our sexuality, in particular through cinema, television, all these sort of things. And one of my concerns is that, and like I said, people have the right to live their lifestyle, but we're living in a society today where I understand LGBTQ, that's like, you know, they're getting their rights. People of that community are getting their rights. They're finally getting the rights that they felt they should have had a long time ago,
They're not
and
getting.
that's and
Listen,
it's taking it is
I'm
taking
not.
center stage.
I'm not trying to cut you off, but listen,
I
this is
understand.
gaslighting. They say that. They
Okay.
say that. Just like the whole thing of the community. They say that. That sounds good, but let
Yes.
you show up and find out what happens. You don't get that.
Well, let me
Now,
let me ask you this question. Let me ask you this question because I've said this to other people, black people in particular, that's a part of that community, and this is that, and this is this. What I don't understand is that when black people identify themselves with that particular group, and I know there are black people that will come out and talk about they'll say homophobic, the fear or the mistreatment that the black community has had towards people that are gay, bi, or transsexual. And black people all our lives, we have listened to music, danced to people. We knew Sylvester was gay. We knew Luther Vandross was gay. We loved him. We know we've had gay people in our families. So it's not that all black people have a problem with people that are gay. Of course, religion is a fundamental thing in the black community. A lot of people will use religion to say this is why we don't like your way of lifestyle. But at the end of the day, a lot of the racism and hate that you deal with in general comes right from the LGBTQ community. You have white gay society, white gay men in particular, who have all the power, have the economic power, they have the social power and the
Let me
political
ask.
power.
I'm not trying
They're
to cut
racist toward they're racist towards even people in the in that community that are black. Remember Michael Sam, who played with the Rams for a short time? He said that he got more prejudice and mistreatment from the white LGBTQ community than he ever got any hate towards him towards from black people, from his own
Yeah,
people.
but see, that could be a political. But see, that could be a political statement, if you know what I'm saying. It's kind of like I want
True.
to say this because I know who holds the money, so I can't say what I want
Right.
to say because if I say
I hear
something,
you.
I'll get canceled. And I know within a certain money or brand or economic
Right.
value, I have to play this role. So the thing about it with the
Right.
hate thing with the LGBTQ, unfortunately, we learned that from our straight people. You're going to
Mm,
hell. God don't love you. You're abomination. We have been mentally abused as children. We've been set on fire. We've been put in the bathtub. We've been drowned. We've been put in cars. We've been killed over and over and over. If you're lucky, you make it out the storm. These are straight people. Now, remind you, I've never saw a gay person goes into a straight person bed and tell them what they need to do. But
okay.
I don't understand how a straight person feels as though they can get our bed and tell us what to do. And by all means, I'm not saying that we live a perfect life because we don't. You got flaws and all, and every person is different.
Yes.
But the background of every girl, every guy that's been brought up, has been I hate to say this because I don't want to sound, the parents, but a lot of times parents have passed down generation pain of how they've been brought up and they included on their children. And a lot of times there are biological females out here that are dating men that don't even want to be with men. They hate men. The guys be like, I do everything I can for her and she should, because she don't want you. She can't tell you the truth because she knows what the world's going to say. She's trying to feel the way it's supposed to be done, like Jay-Z's mother did. The thing about it is that we as a black community, we do a lot of damage within our own, but then as soon as somebody calls it out, we'll say, oh, it's the white man, it's the okay, fine, that's what we know. So if you know that, then why won't you try to move differently and do the things much more better within ourselves? We're not going to get everything 100%. We could try to at least do things a level or get better steps to move up forward. But unfortunately, we're still killing ourselves, and then they'll say, well, we don't want to talk about that. When it goes down to celebrities, they'll talk about Little Nas, they'll attack all these people. But when is the last time they attacked about all these young girls and these young guys getting killed on the street? When did they got upset about that? When did they talk about the girl who hit a man because she slapped her on the butt and she got murdered because
Right.
he felt disrespected? Where's all that argument with that? Why are they not
Right.
so angry about that? Why are they not that angry with George Floyd got murdered, but Breonna Taylor got murdered as well? They didn't even get a
Yeah.
conviction on this, but yet and still they seem to move on. Sandra Bland wasn't the first one. Lakeisha Watson was another girl that was hung in jail. There are a lot of
Right.
black women that's been murdered, but why is not the same energy when it comes to black women being murdered as it is for men? And when I talk about the two-spirit women, we're underneath the women. We're not even
Well,
on the
the
platform
the
with the
reason
women.
the reason why is you have to understand, and I've done on my YouTube channel, I've done videos. I have a whole library of videos that I've done on Breonna Taylor. Every incident that has happened, I have done exclusive stuff on it.
Me
Even
too.
on Haps, I have stuff on here that I done during that whole George Floyd situation, Breonna Taylor. Um, I touch on all those different issues you're speaking of. Let me just say this: one of the fundamental things that we have to understand in this society is that, in general, women overall, the value of women is not put on a high pedestal in terms of when you are harmed. You'll be put on high pedestal when it comes to men and their sexual conquest. You see what I'm saying? So when it comes to your sex, all those kind of things like that, you're put up. Women will be put up there. But when it comes to black women in general, black life within the black community is not seen as any has no does not have any value in this society. Is not seen as valuable. And then when it comes to black women, well, it's even more because you got to because black women have to deal with not only the racism, but the sexism. And then when
Colorism.
it comes to someone like yourself, who is both black, right, and you are transgender, I don't want to be disrespectful. What is the term that you prefer
Two
to be
spirit.
called?
I call myself
True,
two
true.
spirit.
Okay, so you're true spirit. So you're true spirit, and you're black,
Two
and
spirit.
you are part of the LGBT community. I don't know, but you're
By
getting it
default.
3 times. You're getting it 3 times over. You're getting it over. You're getting it done to you because you're black. Then when people look at you, they'll see you as a woman, so they'll judge you as a black woman. And then when they find out that you're actually a person who has made a transition from one sex to another, then they're gonna judge you on that. So now you got 3 strikes against you. You see?
Let me
So
let me
therefore,
just
when you put all that together, society doesn't value you on all those different levels, and that's why you will continue to you will get disrespect. And when someone is killed, such as a black woman or someone who's transgender in the community, nobody will care.
well, let me just interject for a second there because unfortunately there's a lot of girls like me who was never accepted. So if we never was accepted, we don't see the things as far as being rejected. You have to give us something in order to take it away. If you never give it to us, we can still move through. We can still go get jobs. We'll still knock down doors. We still got more things because that those things of being accepted was never an option for us. It was never
Right,
available to us. So
right.
the things that other girls may go through because they were once had male privileges and they look more passive as a male, they don't know how to navigate the whole thing because they are not used to this. But the ones like me who's never got the opportunity to be accepted, we've been jumped on, we've been beat on, we've been stomped the ground. We never got the opportunity to live in our truth because here it
Uh-huh.
is, you always attacking us. But here it is on this side, we don't see the difference. You could transition, still don't see the difference. I never saw the difference. So for
Hmm.
me, myself, I speak of, I don't see no difference because I still knocked on the doors. I still, before I even transitioned, my hair was down my back. But the thing about it is, it's no different for me. So even though I could change my, put a hair on and stuff like that, my experience, like I said before, everybody's experience is totally different because a lot of times girls that transition, they say, I have to detransition because they had the male privilege. So they was once given this godlike complex and they don't no longer have it. So they don't know how to deal with it. Then it's the ones like me who's never got that. We've been just punished from the vagina to the world. And everybody just hated us. So for us, it's no big deal because we're used to it. It's like being a slave and don't realize that you're free because it's still you got the slave mentality of the past pain. Now we move forward and stuff like that. We got girls that transition, like Caitlyn Jenner, that was cross dressing, that was never trans. She likes to dress up as a woman, and then she feels as though somebody, in my personal opinion, said to her, "Oh, you must want to be a trans woman because you wear women's clothes," which was not accurate. That's why when she transitioned, she still dated women because her mental was never a trans woman. The thing about it is, when you're a two-spirit woman, it's no such thing as an outfit or fashion or clothes. But for some reason, the way the world works in 2021, people have a misconception of a lot of different things when it comes down to it, in my opinion. But for me, myself, it's never been available for me. Did I lose you? Did I lose you? Hey, Cece. Hey, Davana. Hey, I've been with many straight black men. I'm down low. If anybody want to come on, here's the link. I think I lost them. I'm waiting for them to come back. In the meantime, if y'all want to join this conversation, okay, no problem. Here's the link right here. It's a very interesting comment, which is cool. I'm glad he actually came on because he's giving another perspective of another view, and I appreciate the fact that he is here. Because I always feel like everybody has a point of view or what they see. We only go by what we've learned, and that's where we learn a lot of different things and stuff. And we see a lot of questionable behavior and stuff like that. But I always like to talk to people to find out what they see and what they learn. In this world we live in, we try to make it work the best way we can. So how's everybody doing tonight? What time is it? It's now 10:29. But the conversation tonight was about the girls tricking men. And the thing about it, reason why I wanted to talk about it is because some girl got up there and she felt as though the guy had no right for what she felt, as though the guy was wrong, but she was like, oh, that's transphobia. And for me, the reason why I want to talk about it is because there's somebody younger that's looking at her that's thinking that is right. Thank you, CC. There's always somebody younger that's watching you. There's always somebody watching you behind. And I don't want them to think that this is the good thing to do. I don't want them to think tricking men is a fun thing to do. Because for some reason, girls feel as though bullets don't kill them, knives don't kill them, being set up don't kill them. They don't feel as though they could be murdered. Thank you, January. Hey, D. Yeah, and that's the thing about it. When you do these type of things and stuff, you have to be prepared for the consequences. But see, they don't be thinking about that. All they think is, this is fun. This is fun. And see, for me, I feel as though when I watched the girl that was telling her story, because it was like, you should be able to stop tricking men. Men are going to get upset. And I've talked about this before. I say, um, well, you still with me, TV? I talked about this before. I was like, you're playing a dangerous game. Your parents need you to come home. Your mother needs you to come home. And my thing is this: you don't know how a man thinks, and for some reason, okay, let me see if I can bring you in. For some reason, I think a lot of these girls feel as though I feel as though a lot of these girls feel as though they got the right to do what they want, which they do. I can't listen. I can't stop nobody from doing what they want to do. They're gonna do what they want. I can only try to talk to people the best way I can, and try to educate people if they're willing to listen. If they're not, you can ask a question, D. Let me get my glasses. You could come on, Yummy. Here's a link right here. Click on this link and join Hats. There's a link. Join Haps, and I'll be gladly to bring you on, and you can come and talk about it. I think it's very important because, like I said before, we have a lot of copycats, and I got a channel full of deaths. I got a channel full of girls being murdered. They all dead. And for what? They didn't even get to the age of 30 years old and they're murdered. And hey, Maria, you want to come on? Okay. You be pussy stunt. Exactly, CC. You're right. I put the link, y'all. If anybody want to come on here, I put the link. Click on the link. Join Haps, and I'm going to pull you in. Just let me know you join, and I will pull you in. I'm waiting for and it's the thing about it is that death is final. Death is final. Death is final. I mean, you may be reincarnated back, but death is final. You have to be very careful at what you're doing. And unfortunately, I would love to say just the young girls, there are a lot of older girls that's doing the same thing. They're afraid of losing that love of a man, which is really wrong and which is really scary because death is real, and so anyway, let me go back. So the girl said it was very transphobic. She's like, I'm a woman, this is transphobic, he should date me, stuff like, but you know what you're doing. And I talked about this before. I love you too, Maria. I talked about this before. I said, you can't do this. You knew how you were born. We understand how you identify, but you have to be fair. You can't do things that's not fair, but then want to be treated fair. But the fact that it's becoming an online trend, exactly, January, it's becoming a trend, and girls are starting to do it, and they're thinking that it's funny. And I don't think the fact of the matter, I don't think the girls think that they're going to be murdered. I don't think they think that way. I just did a story on the 17-year-old girl that just got murdered. and they was going together. And she didn't trick him, and he killed her. I think deep down, trans women trick because they are looking for acceptance. That's true. They are looking for exception, but the thing about it is acceptance. But this is the thing about it. You're looking for acceptance, right? And you know the ones who know what you are don't accept you. Why would you play a mind game and start from the beginning? That's like buying a gun with the bullets. You already know the ones that know what you are come with the gun without the bullets. Now you're gonna buy the bullets for the gun because they don't know to shoot you with. That makes no sense to me. But then you want to be treated fair. You have to be careful. Your mother wants you to come home. Your father wants you to come home. Your friends want you to come home, and you're doing all of this just for some love and probably sex. But this is my thing. You have to learn to love yourself. You have to love yourself even days you don't even want to love yourself. You got to learn to love yourself on days you don't giving up. Because my thing is this is that you don't know what the next person is going through. Go ahead, you can ask D. You can ask D. And my thing is we all have our own trials and tribulation, our own testimony. And unfortunately, when it comes to a lot of men, he already been shut down. He's been shut down. He can't even speak because he already told, oh, you acting like a girl. You have to do this like a man. So you shut him down. So now they be like, he never talks because as a child, he's already been shut down to being a man. Now he's emotionally not available. His conversation is short. He's really quiet. They already broke him down as a mother. Um, Let me get my glasses on. I agree with you. I am crying because it feels good when a straight man thinks of me as a girl. It's okay, Maria. It's okay. But the thing about it is, you have to be responsible for your actions. There are men out here that want to be with you. It's all about locations. Okay, D, go ahead. D says she was with the man. This is the thing about it. You're not going to get love. And it's not even about being a two-spirit woman. You're not going to get love when you're tricking people. If you're a biological female and you know that you got a killer boyfriend or you got a bunch of children or you local or bipolar or you got a venereal disease and you know this and you go into a relationship, you're not going to get nowhere in life by tricking anybody. Because once they find out, they're going to show out. I was watching this woman on TikTok. She was sharing stories of how many black women that's been murdered. Um, 7 out of 10 women has been raped by black men. That's what she was saying. 7 out of 10 women has been raped by black men. So 7 out of 10 women has been allegedly. Now, unfortunately, I couldn't even chime in on that. Also, a lot of women, I'm gonna make people mad, have had abortions on men without men knowing that they had children. So a lot of women have had abortions. Now the weird thing about that is she will raise a child and knowing that it's not his and having raised a child thinking that it's his. And the funny thing about children, if he stays around you or she hangs around a man long enough, the child start looking like the father. You ready to come back on TV? So we have to be careful how we move. But like again, I always tell everybody, we are human. We're not perfect. We have flaws. We can only do the best way we can, the best way we can. But just try not to hurt nobody in the processes of your flaws. If you are having anger issues, you know you can't argue with nobody. If you're the kind of person that like to start trouble, you know you need to stay home. If you're the kind of person that just cheat and do grimy stuff, stay single. You know what you got to do. conversation. I was talking to a guy who wanted to meet me and stuff, and he was expressing to me that he's DL. He was like, "Well, I'm DL," but he told me, he said he wanted to date me. He wanted to take me out. He wanted to take me out, do nice things with me. So I'm like trying to figure out, how did they make this make sense? If you are DL, how are you taking me out? So he expressed that he was with a girl like me before. And this is where he went wrong. He should have kept his mouth closed. I totally agree. There is a plenty of men. Let me see. I totally agree. There are plenty of men out there who will have sex with a trans man. I don't take. I don't need to. That's true. He came on my face. Okay. Okay, D. Thanks for sharing that. Um, what was I saying, Lord Jesus? You threw me off with that one, Lord Jesus. But what was I saying, y'all? I can't with this. Oh, so the dude was like, he wanted to date me and stuff like that. And I kept looking at his picture. Now the weird thing about this, he's DL, which anybody straight should know, the down low lifestyle is bigger than the LGBTQ. Let me just say this again. The down low lifestyle is bigger than the straight people lifestyle. There are more men and women, let's be clear, women too. There are a lot of women on the DL. There are tons of women on the DL. That's why men get caught, because women on the DL too. Let's be true. Because since I've been on this side of the fence, I've been approached by a lot of females. So I've never, when I was on that side of the fence, they said no, but on this side, I can get a female. But I ain't going to start with that. So he told me, he said, the reason why he can't, he said, well, I want to take you out. So I said, well, express a deal. So he said it with a girl like me. They was together and stuff. He said it was supposed to be an after we'll be friends with benefits type of thing. Okay, fine. So be it. So he expressed to me that he would hang out at her house, she would hang out at his house, and he got really close with her. He was like, yo, I really feel this girl. This girl is really nice. So he really felt close to her, and they were hanging out and everything. Then he said he felt as though his boys were going to find out that he's with a girl, so he got rid of her. So he got rid of her just like that. Even though they got along, even though they hung with each other out. But the fact of the matter that he felt as though his friends were finding about him, he got rid of her. He got rid of her. Now he's on a site trying to find another girl so he can do it again. Now I expressed to him, so in other words, you're doing transfer energy. What you're doing is you're trying to hurt people. Where did you get that from? I said, that's what you're doing. Let's sit in what you're doing. You're making a date to hurt somebody. You're making a date to hurt somebody else. But in the same breath, you don't want to be hurt, but you're making a date to hurt somebody. Oh, I'm sorry, you're taking it the wrong way. You already told me you met a girl, y'all got along really great, and the fact of the matter was you were so worried about your boys finding out, but lo and behold, you are in the bed with her. You're in the bed doing everything with her. So my thing is, you already got the stain on you. So you feel as though if you get rid of her, the stain goes away. And here it is, you're looking for a victim because it's no longer people now. These are everybody who's with him is a victim. So his whole thing was like, you taking it the wrong way. No, I'm woke. There are a lot of girls that are asleep. I'm woke. You're not the first person I met like you. A man will make a date to hurt you, and he will say he didn't do it. He will say, well, it was your choice. He will back down, and he also, if need to, he will kill you and say he didn't know what you was, even though he's been in a relationship with you all this time. And unfortunately, a lot of us girls got the same story. We all don't even know each other, so we all can't be making it up. Then we watch how you jump in the bed with a biological female when you was with us and you was submissive, you was a ladybug, a Tinkerbell, but yet and still you're around a biological female, you done man it up, you got all this testosterone for her, but when you with us, you like a Tinkerbell, you like a ladybug, you all up in the bed, leg throwing your legs up like a woman, but you around her, you don't actually over emasculate yourself. You tough. You can't stand them things, them shims, them its. And then when she ain't around, you giving that low knock on the door or going, you're, and now you at our door. And then it's just unbelievable how it works. And let's just step back a little bit for a second. Let's talk about the fact of the DL men that's having sex with gay men. There are a lot of men who with other men who look masculine, and they're calling these men their brothers and their cousins. That's not their brothers, that's not their cousins, that's their boyfriend. But they got it so fixed up. And let's be clear, there are a lot of women out here who calling these girls your sister, or that's my sister, and that's her woman, that's her lover. But unfortunately, when it comes to women, they will stand in their truth. But when it comes to men, they won't. They want to find a man that's not obvious. They want to find a man that's hardcore. They want to find a man that's really masculine. They want to find a man that they can bring around their family and their wives because they do not want anybody to know how they get down. So they bring them and they check them in out. If you're not passable, you have to be a passable DL man to be with a DL man. He got a suit on, he got on Tim's, he hardcore, he's doing everything and stuff like that. And at the end of the day, his legs up in the air and he's feeling like the woman of the damn year. But when he's around the girls like me, he hate us, he can't stand us. But remind you, he's dating a man, but he hate the girls like me, and he try to talk about us like a dog. He'll try to fight us, and the reason why he fight us, because when a woman finds out about him, they say, oh, you must want to be a girl, you must want to be a girl. So when he see one of us, we giving him a flashback on something that has nothing to do with us, and now he angry with us. That's called it misguided anger. Now he's attacking us, or I can't stand him. He's jumping on us. He's trying to fight us on the street, and we're thinking we're being jumped by a straight man. We're actually being beat on by a DL gay man. These AL networks are dark. Exactly. Oh, it's a lot of DL stuff going around here. These men have more loyalty. If they do, these men love men. That looks like a gay is if you have a question. I see many men daily acting. Exactly. Yes, but we are always clock DL men. They always try to get nervous. Yeah, because they know. They know. That's like this. This is another thing. Y'all may get mad at me, but I'm about to say. I hate when y'all say, "Oh, he's trans attracted." He wasn't trans attracted. He was attracted to a woman. Stop taking on stuff and stamping it to you. Y'all got to stop. He was attracted to a woman. He was attracted to a trans woman. He was attracted to a woman. A woman. He was not attracted to a trans woman. He saw a woman. I don't like when y'all keep. I I have to defend him. I have to defend him on that. He wasn't attracted to a trans. He saw a woman. Y'all just want to sit back and use that as an alibi. Oh, he's attracted. He can't believe. Now, reality is once you drop the dime on your truth, that's a totally different thing. He saw a woman, which you said that that's what you was. Now, all of a sudden, everybody gets involved and make you sit back and rethink your way of thinking, which I wish you wouldn't. But at the end of the day, you're going to do what you want to do. At the end of the day, it is what it is. But my thing is this. You cannot sit back and say he was trans attracted. He saw a woman. Now, what you take down the line is a totally different thing. And you want to say, oh, that's transphobia. It's not transphobia. He saw a woman. And that's what you represent, a woman. So now you want to sit back and change the narrative and say, well, he's trans. No, it's not transphobic. Let's sit in it. Stop. I don't mind saying certain things with men, but you're not gonna put that on him for me. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. And I also, you're mad at me again. I also don't agree with a trans woman fighting them. I don't care if y'all care or not. I also don't agree with a trans woman fighting fighting a biological female in a boxing ring. That's just my opinion. I don't agree with it. I don't care how many hormones you take. I don't like it. Now, as far as running around and thing, I don't care. But as far as beating on a woman, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't agree with it at all. Now, some of y'all say, oh, that's because you've been with a woman. It doesn't matter whether I've been with a woman or not. My thing is this, is that regardlessly how much it breaks down your body and stuff, and I understand women can climb poles and stuff. Some women are strong. Some women can weigh you out. But when it comes down to just mentally beating on a woman, maybe I still have a soft heart, but to just sit back and knowing that you could build yourself up. Your body is built a certain way than her body is built. And that upper body strength on you could really hit her hard, in my opinion. I don't agree with it. Now, y'all can run around the track and all this stuff. I could care less. But for me, I take it personal when I see anybody beat on a woman. That just bothers me for myself. I don't like to see a man beat on a woman. So I really don't like another woman beating on a woman. I just don't agree with none of that beating on women. You could read a woman down. I don't even like when a biological woman beat on another woman. It bothers my spirit. I hate all of it. And I understand that's a sport, but does that, and I get it. I don't agree with no women beating on women. I don't even really agree with the men beating on men, but at the end of the day, people are gonna do what they want to do. What I say really don't matter because people are gonna do what they want. But I attempt to back on your panel, but the system is not working. Maybe let me try again. I'm gonna try again. Wait, let me try something. Let me uninvite you. Okay, I invited you back. But Raven, what if a girl gets clocked by a guy, but he is still interested in her? Is that not transgender? But see, the thing about it is, but see, it's a difference between. But see, this is a different thing, Queen. Hey, Queen, how you doing? This is a difference. See, no disrespect to biological females, but there are a lot of biological females that do not look like biological females. There are a lot of biological females that are doing everything like a RuPaul Drag Race show. There are a lot of biological females that look like natural born men, and these are women. So you can't blame a man for thinking that that's a biological female. And I understand. But see, the thing about it is, when you in the community, you see it. But when you're not in the community, you don't see it. Everyone should feel that way. Protest, but exactly. This is the thing about it. Protect all women, and well, not the ones who try to get people killed. I mean, if you try to get somebody killed, that's a different story. But my thing is this: is that there are a lot of biological females that do. You may have to recruit. You may have to. I added you on. I added you on TV. You probably have to shot. You probably have to reboot your phone, like cut everything off and come everything back on, because sometimes you have to reboot. I do have you up here. You're in my queue. It has your name up here, but maybe it'll move a little faster. Yeah, that's the thing about a queen. See, when by us being, see, this is the thing about a queen. We're in the LGBTQ, so we kind of know what to look for. But there are a lot. We're talking about straight ministry. A lot of people don't know what to look for. A lot of people even. First of all, let's start here. A lot of people got so much going on in their life, they could care less about the LGBTQ. They're trying to pay their bills. They're trying to pay their rent. They're trying to survive. They're trying to get food. They're trying to get their children. They could care less about the LGBTQ or who looks clockable, who don't look like. People are really going through it right about now. We're in a pandemic. People are unhappy. People are just losing everything they got. They could care less what's between your legs or what you look like. So, unfortunately, when it comes to us with our community, we look. it comes to allies who in our community that low key be trying to, they look. People look. We're humans. We look. I look, you look, we look. We got eyes, we look. We question people, we look. It's normal. We look and we look out for ourselves just in case people are, crazy. How long I've been on here? So that's the thing about it. And the thing about it is I just feel like totally shallow come with these things. Look on. Thank you, flight. I mean, Lord, I think y'all gotta forgive me, guys. Hey, fight the evil roots. Thank you, thank you. You know me, I got a bunch of wigs, child. Been throwing wigs on, and you know, but no, this a wig. I always got different wigs on. I'm putting wigs on. Excuse me, but child, this a wig. Child, I change my wigs every time I get upset. But this the thing about it is, I got this wig when the pandemic first started. Because when I went down, for some reason, whenever I get upset, I change my hair, which means that's why if you notice on my thing, I'm always changing. When I went down, when the pandemic was going, there was some of the wigs cheap. Now all of a sudden, wigs are like $200-300, which I think is hilarious. But some people can afford it, some people can't. It is what it is. It's just a wig. But the thing is just opening. Thank you. The world is opening back up, and let's talk about the fact that so many Black people, not all. When I say this, I'm not talking about every Black woman, every Black man, every. It's not everybody. Why is it that when I go in the store, there are so many Black men and women walking in the stores with no mask on? They have no mask on. They have no mask on, and people like, we're tired of wearing masks. We're not wearing masks anymore. I'm gonna tell y'all something. For some reason, things have been blocked, and I don't understand why. About this pandemic and people trying to reach out to share what the COVID-19 is stuff is this medicine has done to them. For some reason, the internet is blocking it. They do not want to let people know. For me, I don't understand what's the good in that. We can't unify on saying if it don't work, it don't work. It's not personal. We're talking about people. This is not personal. If a drug doesn't work, it's not personal. And I always said, if you have white people screaming, then it's a problem. We already know Black people are screaming stuff ain't right. But if you got white, they're like Black people don't want to take the vaccine. But if you got white people screaming about the vaccine, if you have white people screaming saying don't take it, if you have white people screaming what's happening to them, if you got white people showing people in the hospital, something is wrong. Something is wrong. Now, when they scream and they stick, something is wrong. Something is really wrong. And the sad part about it is they're like, well, a lot of Black people want to take it. Listen, you do what you got to do. If it works for you, go for it. But unfortunately, I expressed this to someone else. They was like, well, Raven, you need to. I said, no, I'm not going to take it. That's just my choice. Now, when you force something down to me, I feel as though, my personal opinion, I feel as though we're moving back into slavery days. In my personal opinion, so behind the scenes is slowly moving back to centuries. And when I say this, because they're grabbing people's babies out the hospitals. They're also allegedly they're also taking babies from different locations, like they used to take the babies from the Black mothers. This has been happening. Also, they're trying to force a vaccine and stuff down on people. Same thing is to experiment on Black women, because they felt as though Black women could deal with the pain more, and they forcing this stuff down. Something is going on. Also, the food supply, the food is kind of being less. So it's like I'm gonna starve y'all into making y'all do it my way. Like, what are y'all low key behind the scenes doing to us, and why are y'all doing this to us? We should be unified together, Black, white, purple, Haitian, Jamaican, and what's happening here. But something is going on behind the scenes, and they're coming after everybody. When I was posting stuff on Instagram, they kept saying my account. Once upon a time, whites didn't think blacks felt pain. Exactly. They did it with women because they didn't cry when they whipped them. We mentally won't break it. Right. I was I was on Peter Pan bus. This person was combing and styling her wigs. It was an epic sight. Okay. um, Thank you, Maria. The thing is, I mean, to me, my personal opinion, it's not about if something doesn't work, why are we not working with each other to get if something's broke, we fix it. It's pretty simple. It's not personal. It's not about everything is not about race. If it's not working, it's not working. So one rapper got up there and said, we're tired of wearing masks. We're not wearing masks anymore. We're tired of it. And see, that's a danger thing to do. Me, who dealt with this whole COVID-19 and stuff, and I don't want to make it too dark, but in April, when April the 1st, April the 16th, April the 1st, April the 6th, April the 1st, my father, April the 16th, my mother. They both died of COVID in April, which was a few months ago. When I went to the funeral home to bury my mother and my father, they gave us 30 minutes. They were so overpacked with people. They were so overpacked. The funeral home was packed with bodies. They had people. When I went outside, there were lines as if it was a concert of a tour. There were lines of people waiting outside to bury the body. They gave you an hour to say goodbye to your loved ones, and the next person comes in. They was moving it as if it was like a bus tour, and they were just moving them in. They was just moving them in. And I talked to the funeral director. I said, have you ever? He said, I've never seen nothing like this in my life. He says, you know what? We're so busy here. We're making tons of money. He said, you know what's even worse? People not listening. He said, people are not listening. He said, I don't understand. They should just keep their masks on. This is way before this whole mandate thing that they're just trying to push on everybody. Why would you push this on people if you know it's a problem for people? Like, why would you do this to people? Hey, hey, Piper, how are you? Like, why would you push this on people? Why would you do this to people? And I know maybe I'm just living kumbaya land and stuff like that. I just don't know why is it so important to hurt another person. This is medicine. If it don't work, then we just gotta find another way. And then the conspiracies and stuff like that. I get it, but remind you, let's be clear. Every medicine don't work on everybody the same way. There's been operations that our doctors have taken with many times with different other patients that died. There's been operation people that got cosmetic surgery, they died. Everything does not work for everybody. Are you giving these people examining? Are you examining their whole body, or are you just sticking the needle in their body? Some people got kidney failure. Some people got heart disease. Some people got diabetes. So when you stick this needle in them, will there be triggers? Will they have a heart attack? There was one man that posted about his best friend's daughter. I think she's 7 years old, and she keep having heart attacks. So why are they trying to put themselves up? And what's sad about it is they're blocking this from people seeing this. So why are you blocking this stuff? Why would you do this to another human being? Hey, Davo, how are you? It's not personal. It's not. And the sad part about it is, I always said, those who listen will listen, and those who won't will won't. If you can't figure it out, let us just wear a mask since you all get it together. Y'all still ain't got the cure of cancer. You still ain't got the cure for AIDS. You gave them something to treat it. You still ain't got the cure for a lot of different things. So all of a sudden, this comes up, you already got the cure. It's questionable. Now, if you had the cure of cancer, then I'd be like, okay, well, they done cured cancer, y'all. They done cured AIDS. They done cured cancer. And just like the little girl that ended up dying and stuff, Chanel, Lyric Chanel, she ended up dying from cancer, had brain cancer. Then I can say, okay, this works because they got a cure. But all of a sudden, Cool Sky, this pops out of nowhere, and y'all got a cure, and people are dying from this, and y'all don't want public to know about this, and y'all want to make it mandate that you want to stick this thing inside of them, and then talk about chips and stuff like that. And if y'all think about it, before this disease even showed up, they were talking about sticking needles and chips inside of people. It's dangerous, and it's not personal. It's not about race. My thing is this: if it doesn't work, we'll wait. We will wait. Let us wear a mask. We'll buy masks we'll glamorize the mask. We already got glamorous masks. We would do other things. If it doesn't work, it just doesn't work. You just have to find a way where it works for everybody. And they was like, well, what you could say is, will you accept the consequences of, I need to make sure this medicine is going to work for me and make you something they said to go through to get somebody to sign. Then it also said that someone stated that if you take this and you ended up dying, it's not covered by the insurance because it is considered, what they said is considered a practice medicine. It's considered a practice medicine, allegedly, if you ended up dying from it. Now think about this. If you did, how you want to tell them that it didn't work? You did. So if you did, how are you going to express this? Because death is final. So what are you going to do and tell the people? Well, we would like to apologize that the person didn't make it. So you're going to tell me I'm sorry? So that's what we get to hear. I'm sorry. Anyway, off topic. Way off. I just think it's just really problematic. I know I'm way off topic. We're supposed to be talking about one thing, and that was he didn't know I was transgender and gaslighting. The reason why I wanted to share that with you is because I felt as though, was it gaslighting or the girls are really doing it? Unfortunately, I think the girls are really doing it. And unfortunately, death is final. And unfortunately, probably everybody who see this is not the girls who's tricking people. It's the girls who are really fair. And the ones who's tricking people are not going to see this video. So make sure y'all share it to these girls, especially these ones that's tricking them. Because it's a very selfish act, because your parents need you to come home. There are a lot of men out here who know what we are and are killing us. So why would you chance it on a man that don't know? And unfortunately, there are a lot of men that are mentally not prepared. And some men may feel as though you try to give him a disease. Then when you take his picture and you post it online for other people to see it, there will be people who will contact him when they find out and say, yo, you need to handle that. And then next thing you know, I'm sitting up here doing another video about a girl that's got murdered. And then everybody wants to chime in and say that's what she did. Then I have to sit back and read this whole thing feeling like I failed another girl, because I felt as though if maybe she would have listened. But in the same breath, a lot of us won't listen because we're already broken. We are broken by listening to other people. We used to listen and we were tricked. We used to listen and now we don't want to hear nothing. Hey, Willie, how are you? So, it's really sad. It's really sad how, we work as a community. That's the same thing I was telling TV. The thing of how the LGBTQ is a unified thing. We're not unified like people think. We're not unified like a lot of them like to believe. When I went to apply for a job with I forgot this LGBT thing. I forget her name. And she was like, "Well, you're not qualified. We don't feel as though you could represent um, our community." And I was like, "Why?" Because I'm doing the work. And I realized something. There's a separation. There's a separation between gay women and trans women. There are a lot of gay women, not all, once again, and gay women who don't like trans women. There are a lot of gay women who hate trans women. There are a lot of gay women who will play straight to trick a trans woman into believing that she's her friend and get her murdered. There are a lot of gay women that don't spoke. And we always focusing on the straight women when it's a lot of gay men, excuse me, gay women within our own community that's setting us up to get us murdered. Unless, once again, I'm saying it, not every woman. So she felt as though I couldn't be there because my life is different from a gay woman's life, which is true. I give it that. And I was like, oh, okay, well, she was like, well, you go ahead on and you do your basically your trans women being murdered, stuff like that, and I'll move forward. Now, the thing about it is I do stories on women being murdered and stuff like that. I probably do even more. But to be honest with you, I don't want to be consumed in just death. It's overwhelming for me. If you're an empath, we don't just tell the story, we live the story. I can't do everything about death. It is an emotional thing for me. I don't want to hear about a woman being murdered. I don't want to hear about a man being murdered. I don't want to hear about my sister being murdered. I really don't want to hear it. And for me to take on this thing of being strong when I know mentally I can't deal with this. This is too much for me. Because when I tell the story, I'm living it as if it's me and it's personal. Then I have to take a mental break and step away because it bothers me. It bothers me that um, these are real people and they're murdered for senseless reasons, reasons that was never make no sense. They're doing this crate challenge when people are doing crate challenge. Hey MG off, hey MG. They're doing this crate challenge where people are climbing these crates and stuff. So they were doing the challenge and stuff, and then all of a sudden, while they were doing it, somebody, of course, in the black community, killed the girl and I think a girl and two guys. So they was doing the couch and they shot them up. Like why? Like what was the purpose of that? I know it's the white man. They program us to do this, and when are we as a community going to stop blaming the white man? When are the ones who like to talk about the gay community? When are they are going to channel in on the fact of the matter these girls being murdered? When are they going to chime in on the fact of the matter that you're killing your own kind? When are they going to chime in and say we need to stop y'all? But they will go after gay people about sex. They will go after them. But in the same breath, if the gay people went after them and said, well, you got all them babies. Why are you over here? If you got all them kids, you done knocked all these women up because you told all these women that she was the right one. You gave her a baby. You done left her, made a whole new family. Now he's offended. He's like, don't you, I'm a grown one. Who you think you talk? But then when you share that information with him, he gets upset. When you share this information with a biological female who feels as though you're a two-spirit and she wants to attack you, say, well, didn't you trick a man into thinking that that's his kid? Didn't you kill a baby? Did you have an abortion? Or when you throw this up in their faces, oh, who you think you're talking? We live in a very hypocrite world. They will go into someone's backyard and police them. When you go into their backyard, they get offended. And note to self, mind your business. Then we will have this cool conversation. Because your backyard is filled with a lot of things and also filled with a lot of skeletons that you don't want to find out about. So my thing is this: if you was looking into your own home and take care of your own, you won't be looking in somebody else's home to try to find out what they're doing. But that's just my opinion. Trans women are beautiful. I sure people disrespect. Yeah, the thing about it is, unfortunately, people gonna do what they want to do, and I know I'm just one person, and obviously, what I say a lot of times, because people care less, and even though I speak out, but I don't. My volume of noise I speak of don't really get a lot of legs, and that's fine. And I don't get upset only because I feel as though God has me in a position where He needs me to be. Who needs this for me to see will see it. Unfortunately, when it comes to my trans women of European or white, they don't really speak on it as hardly as much as I do. And I'm not saying they don't 100% because I don't really follow them. But I do know when they do these blogs and stuff and they talk about things, it's never as intense as the care of another sister. You never care about your other sister that's of another color. With me on my channel, I don't discriminate. I do storylines on every race across the board. It's not received the same way because of the messenger. But the thing about it is, I don't discriminate because I'm not going to be a product of this race and that race. If they were white, I did the story. They were women that were killed that was trans. They would have to be white. They were children that were killed, not killed, committed suicide. Trans children that were white. I did the story. It's not about color with me, but I don't understand with my other sisters who are whites or maybe even Chinese Oriental, whatever case it be, they don't share this compassion with your other sisters. And sisterhood, I feel as though, in my personal opinion, we should be more unified because at the end of the day, they ain't calling us women. When the doors close and they show our pictures and they showing our videos, trust and believe they're not calling you a trans woman, they're calling you a man. Trust and believe. There he go. This him. So while you may feel as though, oh, they're giving me that respect, trust and believe when they sharing your videos and your pictures, they calling you exactly what you ain't thinking they calling you. In front of your face, they calling you girl, I live for you, I love you. Behind your back, they sharing your storyline and trust and believe they calling you a man. So my thing is this, you would think that you'd be more unified within your sisters of color, and I know you won't, and that's fine too, because I ain't trying to get all the way up there, and I definitely ain't trying. My thing is this: you could do the same thing I do, and you could dedicate something to your sisters and sit back and say, well, let me do a video about this girl. Everything is not about beauty and hair and makeup and lashes. Sometimes you need to be serious and educate people what's going on. To give a story, well, another black girl got killed. Rest in peace, my sister. And anyway, let me share about this new hair I got. It feels fabulous. How much hope is you giving to that girl? But this is my opinion. And there are girls of color that they see out there and stuff like that. But there are a lot of girls of color who ain't doing the work either. She's basically just in the fish. She wants to, what's that word called? She just wants to go viral. And then she doesn't care. Let me see. We have to do better. I was just sexually assaulted. I can't. I'm sorry you sexually assaulted D. 100%. How was you sexually assaulted? You want to talk about it or you don't? If you don't want to talk about it, excuse me, we don't have to. I would never talk bad about a trans woman behind their back because I was. No, I'm not. Listen. I'm gonna say this again about the billionth time. I'm not talking about everybody. When I say this, I'm not talking about every girl. I'm not talking about every white girl. I'm not talking about every trans girl. I'm not talking about every man. I'm not talking about. I say this 1,000 times, and I'm gonna say it again. Everybody has a different story. It's not about everybody. Everybody has a different past. Everybody comes to this whole thing differently. Everybody's different. I cannot box everybody in and say every straight man, every black man, every white man, every I can't because we're all different. So I don't want y'all to think that it's every single person, because it's not. There may be some white girl out there that's doing the work, that's doing a lot more than I know. It just don't come up on my timeline. Maybe it's set up a certain way that certain things go to certain locations and certain things only go to the urban locations. I do not know. I did not start this system. I don't know how it's set up. My thing is this, is that when it comes to death, I feel as though we have to unite together as one to put a stop to these murders. And the same thing I feel as though when it comes to the biological females. But unfortunately, when it comes to biological females, um, there are women out here that actually, there was a woman out there. I ran it. I talked to her. I didn't talk to her, but I saw it on TikTok. And the weird thing about it was she was doing exactly what I was doing. She's a biological black woman, and she's doing the same thing that I was doing. And the weird thing about it was she was being attacked for bringing the life that black women are being murdered by their husbands and their boyfriends. And guess who told her that she needs to stop doing that? A black man. Why you only talk about black men killing women? Why don't you talk about the fact that black women kill men? And she said the reason why I don't talk about black women killing men is because it makes him seem bad. It makes him seem bad. And before she put that narrative out there for him to seem like a bad person, she'd rather not do it. Once again, a black woman protecting a black man. Now, if she was so committed on the fact of black women, she would put it out there. Once again, a black woman's protecting a black man. Same thing with the girls like us. We protect black men. Whether y'all realize it or not, we do. Because if we ever outed y'all, baby, trust and believe there'll be a lot of angry women out here. We protect black men too. Matter of fact, we protect a lot of white men. Well, I'll speak for me, because mothers lived, and I don't discriminate. So we protect a lot of men. Because the man that dressed it up as a girl, he had a whole full-blown company, honey. Trust and believe, a big... So trust and believe, I know a lot of men in corporations and stuff, big time. But in the same breath, exactly, Pure, in the same breath, and another thing, which is even horrific, these men in these corporations who sleep with us, will dress and drag not to be caught by these corporate people, will not hire us for jobs. They won't hire us for jobs because they're so afraid of us outing them, so they won't give us a job. And when I say this once again, I'm not saying every man, I'm not saying every corporate. I said 1,000 times, but they won't hire us. I know a lot of men who've been in companies. I know a lot of men who run companies. They would never hire me. And I was like, why? They was like, well, can you really do that? Yeah, I could do. I was doing it for years. Oh, well, I have to get back to. Nope, never hire me. Now, remind you. Let's talk about straight people. Let's talk about straight people. Now, I'm not talking about LGBTQ. Let's talk about straight people. They will hire you. They will help you. They will knock down doors for you. They will do a lot more for you than the LGBTQDL. They will help you. The straight people will help you. So you say this. Why is it that they'll help you, but you got the L and the G and the B and the T and the DL won't? That's why I was telling TV. I was like, it's set up a certain way to make you think it's that way, but it ain't that way. It ain't that way. It ain't that way at all. And then when they do hire us, they want to do these crazy things like going around passing out condoms on the street around child police. It sounds good for the media. And when I say this once again, I'm not saying every place, every location. But there are a lot of girls who can't get a job, which means that if you can't get a job and nobody won't hire you, That's when sex working begin. That's when you become a sex worker. And I'm not saying every girl becomes a sex worker. That's not what I'm saying. But a lot of times you have to die in order to live. And when I say die, that means all your dreams and inspiration and what you thought was going to happen has to die. And now you got to live in something that you was not prepared for, that you didn't want to do. And that everything about you, your dreams and your goals is now being destroyed. And every time a man kisses you, get on top of you and service him, your spirit is being ripped apart. Now your spirit is so ripped apart that you're no longer there within the spirit that was once there. The body is showing up, but you're spiritually dead. Now, all of a sudden, in order to fill that spirit back up because you've been hurt so bad, you're looking for drugs. You're looking for another way to deal with your pain. You can't talk to nobody about it because the first thing they want to do is judge you. Now you're all on heroin and Tina and getting high and everything else because now the truth is not exactly what you thought. They try to work the girls like a spare rib for minimum. Exactly. Because they know at some point they could get what they want. It's sad though, but listen, first of all, I don't knock anybody's sons. You got to do what you got to do. Because at the end of the day, there are a lot of men out here that are escorts. When I was working in New York, I didn't even know I was gullible, so I didn't know a lot, and I still don't know a lot. I didn't know men were escorts. I didn't know men were escorts. I learned a lot about that in New York. I also didn't know a lot of men were porn stars, but I live a different life. I'm always by myself. Clearly, that's why I'm home, and I'm always alone. And I'm in the world, but not of the world. I see a lot. I used to talk to people so they could educate me because I do not know everything, and I always feel as though my younger sisters could teach me. Even a child, 10 or 11 years old, will teach me because always be willing to learn from people. I'm always willing to learn. Straight men always love. I wish I could get TV back on here. That conversation is gonna be really good. Unfortunately, I couldn't bring him back, but I really wanted to do that. He was like a gift from God, and I appreciate him coming on. The thing is that I love when a straight man comes and talks, and he can share his commentary of how he sees things, because it gives everybody an idea of different ways to view things. And it's not about being right. It's just a conversation of clarity. But it's not a clarity for every man because every man is different. It's not a clarity within myself because every girl is different. But it gives you a different outlook on different ways to see things when it comes to people. And I love a man, and he seemed to be very educated. So that was a gift. Hey, Kevin. Is that Kevin? Kevin? Do you want to come on, Kevin? I sent you an invite. They try to work the girls. They're not profit community centers and health department. That's what I'm saying. They don't pay the girls. When I went to go get a job, at the LGBTQ, please, they didn't hire me either. They didn't hire me. They didn't hire me, and I was like, I was going everywhere. It was like, no, no, no. I have my resume, everything. I did the work. I'm about to go to bed. Okay, no problem. I did the work. Hey, Gabrielle, did you want to come on? Thank you. And that's the thing about it with that's the thing about it. It's not what they think. It's so much stuff that's not exactly what people think. But I understand because they're really not in it. That's the same thing as dating straight men. Let's be clear. Nothing is 100%. I always say that. But if you are a transgender woman, the person that's going to want you is going to be a straight man. Sometimes a gay man, sometimes a woman, depends. But normally, it's going to be a straight man. No gay man ain't checking for you. Not set in stone, because some gay men, you never know, they want to experiment and stuff like that. But it's levels to all of this. I'm gonna give you one level. This is one level. There is a man. I'm gonna give you levels. I'm gonna give you different levels of men. There is a man who feels as though he's different. Now, you got the black mother or the white mother or the Spanish mother or case may be, who said, I don't raise gay people, I only raise men, my child may not be gay, and da da da. So he hear those comments, and the mother kind of feel a little suspect about her son or daughter. She'll make little comments around them to let them know that she don't agree with it and stuff like that. So then that starts the low key stuff. That starts the DL life with a female and a male. I'm gonna put the women in it too, because women on DL. There are a lot of women on the DL, just like there are a lot of men. We always talk about the men, but there are a lot of women on the DL. But since I've been on this side of the fence, I've never had so many. I didn't even know women send vagina pictures until I got on this side of the fence. I didn't know this stuff existed. This is new for me, but I've seen more cootie cats in my whole life. And I was like, so this is the reason why men send the D pictures, because y'all sending it. Like I'm in the middle, like confused, like shocked. I've never seen so much vagina in my life. I didn't know women did stuff like this, but it is what it is. I can't stop the fight. So as a parent growing up telling your child you don't agree with it, which means you tell a child, when you tell somebody you don't agree with their lifestyle, they're going to sneak. When a child's going to sneak, guess what happens? So we'll just start with the men first. I just say, I just say both. I'll say, when I say both, y'all, I mean women and men. So when I say both, so if both of them feel as though they're different, right? That means they're attracted to their same sex. What they will do, they will be with the person of the opposite. A woman will be with a man will be with a woman. Because they feel as though this is the way the world works, this is what they're supposed to do. They've been Bible whipped. So due to the fact that they've been Bible whipped and they learned that Bible and stuff like that, they said, well, God died for me on the cross. I mean, Jesus died for you on the cross, but they don't ever say that they murdered Jesus and they threw him on the cross and they killed him, but they don't say that part. They said he died. He didn't die, y'all killed him. But that's another story. So here it is. They know that he can't talk to their parents, so that means I gotta sneak and do what I gotta do. So now he is with the woman, stuff like that, but the spirit doesn't go away because he feels as though he's attracted to men. So what he do is he try to find a trans woman. So now, or she try to find, I don't know if she try, I don't want to speak for a woman because I don't know how they move that way, but I'm gonna speak for the men because I do know men do this. They'll try to find a trans woman. Or maybe a woman to try to find, I don't know. I'm going to speak for them because I don't know. That's way off I'm going to speak what I do know. Not in all cases, once again. So a man will do is he'll try to find a trans woman because he feels as though if she looks like a woman and she got the body parts of a male, then I could kind of be with if I'm really gay or not. So what he'll do is he'll try to find a girl. Instead of him getting one off the ass, he'll try to find one you'll have to pay because simple fact of the matter, not set in stone once again, because some will go out and pay, but he'll try to find one that he can have sex with, unless his wife checks his books or his payroll or his. But trust me, believe, he'll sneak money to the side and take that chick and say he don't got to pay them. He gonna listen. A man is gonna sneak. It's like a woman sneaks. So he'll find a trans woman and then he'll have sex with her. And then 9 times out of 10, he normally likes it. Most of the time, well, in my case, they love it, but that's the kind of girl I am. But the thing about it is, 9 times out of 10, he likes it. So now he liked it, he done bit the apple. Now he's questioning sexuality. Because now he was like, yo, so now he'll go back to her again. Now he's going to pump her up to believe that something's more going to be there. And the reason why he's pumping her up, because now he wants to experiment more so. When he experiment more, that means he wants to find out if she is fully functional. That means he wants to be Gretel instead of being handsome. Like Hansel and Gretel, he wants to be Gretel. He does. It's not funny. So he hits her up. And she's like, well, that's not my thing. So, okay. So now he doesn't want to be where he's going to try to find another girl. So he wants to find a girl that's fully functional. When he tries to find a girl that's fully functional, that means he wants to be, like Peter Pan and Tinkerbell. He doesn't want to be Peter Pan. He want to be Tinkerbell. So what he do is he try to find a girl that's fully functional. So usually those girls are the girls that's, not on hormones, or some, like the other girl said, they look more masculine because they don't believe in hormones. That means they could give it to him the way he prefer, because he wants to see if him being done like a female, is it really true, as far as he wants to. So no, it's deeper than that. So he wants that too, though. But you're right, though. You're right, Daniel. So the thing is, hey Daniel, I just realized. So the thing is, you want to come on, Daniel? Let me know. So the thing is, he finds a girl that's fully functional. So he finds this girl fully functional. She takes him in the room, 9 out of 10, he's gonna pay her. Because he feel like the one that's not, but the one that's fully functional, he's gonna pay her. Because she's about to provide a service for him. So he gets her in the house, or whatever, hotel, streets, I don't know. So he gets it there, and then she tells him what he needs to do to make sure his body is, mass and gill clean, douche, da. So he already knows what to do. Not to not times you don't have to tell him because already done it. So the thing about it is, he meets up with her. We talking about the straight men. I'm not talking about the ones y'all be seeing online, all the finger popping lip gloss. I'm talking about hardcore dude that will knock you out with no problem. That if you see him, you will cross the street because he will mandatorily beat your butt with no problem and rob you. In other words, rob you to me, he charged you for beating you up. But anyway, so the thing is, he'll come out to the house, stuff like that. He'll get in that bed. He start acting like a full-blown female. He's not acting like the tough guy or seen. He's acting like a full-blown female in the bed. He takes his legs, throw them up in the air, and asks her about 9 out of 10. He already done had toys. So he already been experienced with a little bit. Then when she gets him in that bed, and then she does exactly what he wanted. So now she sits up there and she does this stuff to him sexually. So now he goes home to his girl, to his wife, to his fiance, and he kisses on her. Hopefully, if she's lucky, he's using protection. But if he says he don't want to use protection, some girls won't let him use protection because he'll say he don't want it. Now, whatever she got, he gonna give it to her, and whatever he give to her, he gonna get to his wife. But that's a whole nother story. Because one thing I realized about straight men, they don't like to use protection. They rather have it off. It feels better for them. That's why I'm single. So anyway, he goes on to his wife. 9 out of 10, he dig her out, has sex with her. But on top of her, he's thinking of what he just happened to him. Now he's acting a little more masculine tonight because he's worried she may catch on that he felt like a full-blown woman in the bed. So he has to pump it up more to create this whole actor role. Okay. So now he done got dug out by 2 trans women. He dug one out, one dug him out. Now he's like, yo. So then he found out that he liked the one that dug him out more, or he go back to one that didn't. But 9 out of 10, he wants the one that dug him out. So when she dug him out and stuff like that, so he's going to pay her for his service to provide. So now she's doing all the stuff to him and stuff like that. Now she's doing all these different positions with him in the bed. Orally, anally, penetrate, and stuff like that. Now here it is, a wife or girlfriend or fiance at home thinking she married this full-blown man, and normally no shade, y'all make it mad. Construction workers, police officers, judges, anchor people, politicians, not saying all, but trust and believe, they'll be the ones. And she thinking she got this full-blown man, and here it is, he have to get dug out. Most police officers are cross-dressers, not all. I know many of them cross-dressers. And most most wardens and guys in prison and jails, they like to feel like they like you to be in charge. I think it's called dominatrix. That's what they like, dominatrix. The ones in prison like the dominatrix, the wardens and stuff funny. But they want to be, they want the power shift because they always the one in power. So they want to see what it's like for them to be empowered. So, ooh, mothers live. I could write a book on this stuff. So he goes home, mess with her, right? Then all of a sudden, she done turned him out. He can't fake it anymore. But 9 times out of 10, normally he end up giving her a baby and stuff like that. Sometimes, sometimes not. So now the girl done turned him out. So now he loves it. His hole is so open, he's wide open in the back. What was once small is now open. In other words, she turned him out. She got him in his feelings, and he feels a certain type of way. So now he's looking at his wife. He's no longer getting erect for her because he's no longer attracted to her. They call that he's been turned out. You cannot turn out a man that's not available to be turned out. You cannot turn out a woman who's not available to be turned out. So now he found out that he is gay. So now he goes looking for a man that he is attracted to because the trans woman helped him to get over to the side that he wanted. He was always attracted to men, but he wanted to make sure because for some reason, with a lot of times with men, they use everything for sex. Not all men, they use for sex. So basically, he finally could get me with a man. So he already been turned out. Then when he meet a man, whether he's hardcore or really soft or really thin, he could finally go out and date a man. So now he goes out. He goes to the gay club. He put a hat on to hide his face because he still have to hide because he's still married. He got a girlfriend, a wife, fiance. So he goes to the club. He finds a guy that's built hardcore, look straight. Hit him up, start talking to him, and then instead of him acting like a hardcore dude, he listened to the guy talk. If the guy asks them, he go, okay. Now if that's what he into, he'll talk to him. But if a guy acts masculine, he will shift the way he talks. He'll start acting with his hands. He'll start moving his body differently to let the guy know that he is submissive. Now remind you, he's not acting this way around the wife and his boys. He's acting this way around dude. So, mind you, he's straight dude now in front of everybody. So now here it is in front of this dude. So dude meet him up. Dude take him home, bang him out. He go home and tell his wife it's over. He don't want it no more. Dude telling him they want a relationship with him. He found a dude he like. He found a dude to set up. Dude got his own place. Dude doing good for himself. He leave his wife and his children to go be with dude. Now, moral to the story. If mommy and daddy would have let their son or daughter be who they want to do, be who they wanted to be, there would not be no victim of a woman. It would not be a victim of a man. Mothers and fathers have sit back and destroyed their children and act like they don't know what the hell they did and they done it. They did it. And they'd be like, I don't know what's wrong with you. You destroyed them. And when I say this once again, I'm not talking about all parents. But a lot of times, parents have destroyed their children. And that's why their children end up punishing everybody else for what their parents did to them. There will be a man that's going to marry a woman who don't even care for him. She only want, he be like, I get this woman everything. You women always talking about something. Men treat y'all bad. Men are the one that I do everything for you. And you should be like, because she don't want you. She loves women. She loves women. And the fact of the matter is that her mother done raised her to be a certain way. She's living her life by her mother rules. And everything about her is broken. She don't respect you. You should get nothing about you because she don't want you. But the thing about it is, instead of her standing her true or him, they'd rather hide and make everybody else pay for their actions. My parents respect gay people, but I'm still scared to come out because I'm bisexual. This is the thing about it is, see, parents respect gay people as long as it's not their child. As long as it's not their child, they respect them. When my mother died, and she told everybody she didn't know me, that I was from another marriage. When she died, and I showed up, and they was like, "Damn, you look just like her." I said, "You think?" Now remind you, my mother was at the gay clubs. My mother was hanging out with gay people. She was hanging out with gay people. She was in gay, going to gay shows, stuff like that. I never knew about this stuff. But the thing about it is, I have no problem with gay people, just not my child. So you will take on other people, but you'll throw your child away. And that's what she did. Are you living for your parents? Exactly. It's a different, but see, this is the thing about it, Pure. I always say this, and I'm going to say this again. We have to understand, we can't make everybody's life about our experience. Remember, just please be mindful. Everybody's past is different. You make it do something, and it's no problem. Everybody can't do it. I may do something that you be like, "Oh, I can't do that," and then you could do something, I'm like, "Oh, I can't." Everybody's different. We grow up differently. We come up differently. We can't police people what we feel as though they need to do. Everybody gets there at their own time, at their own speed. We can't command people to do what we feel as though they need to do for our liking. We have to let people do it their way. It's only going to work if it's their way. If MG says they can't, then they can't. Maybe they just never will. Maybe they will in time. Just never know. It's just never know. But it's a process. It's a process for everybody that moves differently. And that's the one thing I always try to tell everybody. Please don't make everybody's story about you. Respect that person's story and say, you know what? I just pray for you. That's all you could do. Because it can't be done. No, it can't be done your way. It has to be done their way because it's not going to last. Because the things were done their way, I wish they would. A lot of people wouldn't be so DL. A lot of people wouldn't be on drugs. A lot of people wouldn't be, because they would be more happy. But due to the fact, as little children, we're already taught to care about what other people think and not taught to care about what we think. The first thing we're taught as a child, you dressed up, you represent me. What people going to say when they see you? So now we have to, our life growing up, we have to think about what other people think. And we think, when we before I go outside, oh, wait till they see me in this outfit. Wait till they see me in this here. Wait till, because that's how we've been brought up. We wasn't brought up to have our own frame of mind, our own way of thinking. We wasn't brought up. We was brought up to care about what other people think, and then we don't understand where we get it from. It started at home. Mommy taught us, daddy taught us to care about other people think. They're not getting murdered. It's too much harder being a trans woman than a man with sexuality fluid. Um, I know as soon as I tell them my mom is going to call family in Mexico and start talking Spanish, they don't do it. MG, like I said before, you have to do things your way. Don't do things for other people. Do what works for you. I left home at 17 and lived my life. But see, you got that strength. 100. But see, the thing about it is, everybody's different, though. See, you're built different. Everybody's built different. Some people can't get there. The only reason why I'm the way I'm at, I didn't get here where I'm at. I got here by just being dogged and hurt. I've been dogged so much. And the thing with me is, when I opened the door, expecting my enemy behind the door, it was somebody in my own family. When I looked for generation curses, I was thinking of people of the past generation. I didn't know it was in the generation I'm in right now. I didn't know the person that was working curses on me was my own mother. Like, so this is why I wasn't, my grandmother prayed for me. So this is why I know you wasn't praying for me. You was too busy working on my downfall. You was trying to destroy me. Why would I open the door and think you? You brought me Why would I think this be coming from you? How could you hate me this much when I've done so much for you? It's never who you think. And this is the thing about it. A lot of pain will make you grow. And when I tell you, you go through different ways and channels and stuff like that, but pain will make you grow. Pain will make you grow. It'll make you stronger. It'll make you tougher. And sometimes it depends on certain days. Some days you're weak. Some days you're strong. Like I said before, we're human. We're not perfect. We do the best we can, the best way we can. What's new? I can't live all my life right now because I have a learning disability. I will move out one day. It's fine. This is the thing. Like I said this before. You have to do what works for you. I said this 1,000 times. Don't do nothing for nobody else. It has to go your way. It has to go your speed, your time. Everybody's different. Because one thing about it, I realize people will tell you what to do and they'll pull you all the way out somewhere and leave you. Now you done did all this stuff and leave and it'll left you. Now you try to figure out how you're supposed to navigate through life and figure it out. And that's the thing about me, what I said before myself is I was talking to TV. Um some of us never been accepted. Like you've never been accepted. So if I've never been accepted, like I'm never gonna know, like I'm never gonna know what it's like to have a mother's love. I'm never gonna know what it's like to have a father's love, but I do know what it's like to have a mother hate you. I do know what it's like to have a father hate you. I never know what it's like when society accepts me, but I do know what it's like a society won't accept me. I do know what it's like to be jumped. I do know what it's like to be beat on. I know what it's like to have my hair set on fire. I do know what it's like to have my face sliced from my father. I do know what it's like to have my face burnt up from my mother. So I do know what it's like to be rejected. That's why for me, it's not a big change for me for rejection or being, because that's all they ever gave me. So other people like, how could you sit there? Because that's all I received. So it's no different to transition, to get rejected and get denied love and things are unavailable to you and I can't stay because that's all I've gotten. So for me, it's not a big change. For a person who had privileges and accolades and think we're going great for them for the transition, they don't understand why treating them bad is because they had the privilege. If I've never had the privilege, then I would never know what it's like to give it up. And that's the difference between me and the ones like me, because I'm not alone. There are a lot of people like me who's just been rejected through life, just got nothing. They've done a lot of good and received bad. It's almost as if they were punished for doing good things for people. And it seems like they were punished as if they didn't help them, they wouldn't be punished. But by helping them, they were punished. And like I said again, not everybody. Everybody moves differently. Um, I never had a father figure because my dad was okay and he would abuse me, and that's the thing. I'm sorry you went through that, MG. My father, you chase your father. My father was a rough man. My father is. I don't know if he's dead or not, but he's a rough man. He's like a, he's like a, he's like somebody straight from hell. He's he loves to fight. He loves to start fights. He loves a lot of women. He loves women. He'll run up in a woman as quick as you can see them. And I mean, my father's real nice looking, but he will dog a woman, and he was a woman beater. He beat men. He beat women. He just beat everybody. He didn't discriminate. I watched him beat up these men. The things I used to watch him do as a child, he was just really off the wall. Hey ho, what's up, boo? He just was really off the wall. That's probably why I'm crazy. I used to wonder did he rape my mother? And it's a lot of things. He beat her up too, and and I found this stuff out. His sense of humor is like his sense of humor. He has a real sick sense of humor. Like what's his name? Jack Nicholson. Like Jack Nicholson in the movie, he has a sick sense of humor. Like things that's not funny, he found it to be really funny. Maybe that's where I got it from. Maybe I'm crazy too. Clearly, the apple don't fall far from the tree. Maybe that's why I'm the problem being who I am, because I'm crazy. But the weird thing about them, I mean, they were real nice looking. My parents were really beautiful. But once you know what you know, you know what you know. And you know what you know. I definitely got my craziness from my dad. He was a hot. Yeah, I got my craziness from both of them. Yeah, dark humor. Exactly. I have nervous energy. Dang, I have. It's just really crazy because my family is so dysfunctional, and also what's weird is I have another side of my family that's all white people. They're all white people, and my great grandmother is white. And the weird thing about it is they disconnected themselves because of our skin being too dark. It is just so much going on. So they disconnected themselves because our skin was too dark, and they were all white, and they didn't want other white people to know that we was child. It's a mess. It's a mess. So they didn't want other white people to know that they had black families. So they disconnected us from them. And my great grandmother was white, and oh my God, it's just a big mess. But I do know my family will jump into bed with you and clearly knock you up and leave. And the weird thing about my family, they are gorgeous. Like they are drop dead gorgeous. But when I tell you, they are so gorgeous that they seem unreal. But when I tell you crazy, I guess I shouldn't talk because I'm just as crazy as them. I guess I don't know. I might be worse than them. But they definitely love sex, and they definitely. That's probably why I don't have a problem with race because I never claimed to be white. I never claimed to be Chinese, and I also never claimed to be Indian. I always tell everybody I'm black. I only say one thing. They always ask me what I said black. Some people say you Dominican. Some people say you Indian. I said I'm black. Now with my family, if you open your legs, they had no problem jumping in it. So at the end of the day, they didn't care. Um, Dark humor. I definitely got my crazy vibe. I could tell my father compliments or like tell jokes because he gets mad. Was exactly. Plus, he extremely racist things to black people. Yeah, I believe everybody got a little racism in them, whether they black, white, Puerto Rican, Haitian, Jamaican. Everybody do. It's just you're supposed to keep it kitchen table talk. You're not supposed to bring it to for the forefront so everybody can see it. You know, it's weird because with me, I don't have a problem with no races. I really don't care about it. But it's problematic for me only because you put me in something that had nothing to do with me. Just like the whole black thing, the colorism stuff, like we light skins and dark skins, the light skins get it better, and it's not true, but they get bored. I've seen so many black women that's doing great. That's what about them? And it's so weird to me. And then they look for things like to go after things. It's just unbelievable. It's unbelievable and unacceptable. But like I said before, who cares what I say? But I just hope we get better with it. Hopefully we get better with it. You know. Plus he's extremely. That's the thing about it. It's difficult. It's difficult. It's very difficult. I love black women, but my parents talk crap about them. Yeah, talk about everybody. It's sad. It's weird because when Listen, my friends, people I talk to is all across the board. That means Irish, white, Italian, definitely Italian. Irish, white, Italian, Chinese, um, um, of course, black, Puerto Rican, Haitian, Jamaican. Anyway, I talk to everybody across the board, because I really don't care about the race thing and stuff like that. But the funniest thing that I do realize when I talk to my white counterparts, when I talk to my white counterparts, they would tell me about discrimination, how they get treated funny. And the weird thing about this is because my white counterparts hang around black people, and the black people, not all, once again, they said they discriminate against them for being white. And it was like, well, they treat me bad because I'm white and I'm around black people. It's so weird. It's so weird. We got to do better, y'all. We got to do better. We got to do better than this. This just makes no sense to me. We got to do better, y'all. Like, we just can't be dragging this thing on. We just can't. I mean, I know I don't matter, but y'all got to do better. This is like just sad because I talk to everybody and it just doesn't make sense to me how we take so much time on hurting people, and we get the light skins and dark skins, and now we're celebrating the really dark skins, stuff like that. And the weird thing about that, the really dark skinned ones, women, they'll make comments and then why they're doing it. It's like you're giving all these darker skinned women these things because you feel sorry for them. It's not done with purity. And then you get the light skinned ones and you'll say, well, they got these privileges. And the funny thing about that, a lot of white skinned women don't have these privileges that they think. And it's kind of like almost making a light skinned person feel as though they got the white person privileges. And reality is that that's not accurate. Because I know a lot of darker skinned women that's got a lot of privileges too. So it's so weird how we pick and choose on certain things on certain people. And it's just wrong. You're looking for the mistake instead of looking for the blessing. That's what drives me crazy with this mess. Like, instead of you saying, I meet this person, let's talk to this person, we just talk and have a good time. We're talking about complexion, we're talking about skin. So our whole conversation is cultural appropriation of the hair texture. You're not supposed to wear this certain hair. So when we talk about skin, we start going to the hair. We find everything to try to find another way to tear down the person. But for what? Like, what's the reason for this? Like, what is the purpose? You're trying to police people on different things now. I understand we get upset on certain things with the black face. I get it, disrespectful. But the thing about it is, when y'all start talking about hair and stuff like that, and you stole this, you stole that, and I get that as well. But the thing about it is, what are you willing to share and not make it personal? I wear blonde hair. I'm not white. I wear black hair. I'm black, but I wear every color hair. It's hair. It's fake hair. It's not that deep. It's just fake hair. But anyway, like I said before, I can't stop people do what they want to do. They're gonna do what they want anyway. They're gonna find a problem with anything. That's the one thing about this world that I wish we could change, but obviously the messenger will not be received because of the messenger. God bless the guy who just died. He's 7 feet tall, Igor. He just died. The largest man in the world just died. I think he died from I think he had a heart attack, if I'm right. I'm not sure. I forgot. He died. The tallest man in the world just died. He was only 36 or 38 years old. Let me just see if I can find it. I just looked at it. It's sad, but he just died. A little young guy. See, stuff like that bothers me. I just wish things were different, but I won't matter for me to say. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to find it. Wanted to share it. It's weird because my history is supposed to be showing what I just watched. And clearly, a man who was a ventilator for 165 days describes. I was watching somebody on YouTube and they were saying that YouTube pays them a lot of money and they're very grateful. Yeah, I can't find it. Oh well. There it is. He was 38 years old. Tallest man in the United States, Igor. I'm going to try to pronounce his name. He dies at 38 years old. That's pretty young. He was saying that he couldn't even find shoes and stuff like that. He was really going through it. This is sad. I feel sorry for him. People don't know when you're tall, it's a lot. And he died and stuff. It's really sad. I just put it there. Let me read this. The tallest man in the United States has died, Igor. He died from heart disease, according to his mother, at 7'8" and 7'8" and 3". Igor was certified by the Guinness World Records as the tallest man in the U.S. since 2010. He became Mayo Clinic in Minnesota, Ukrainian in 1989. The tumor present against the gland caused him to secrete excessive amount of growth hormone. That's what it was. He died 38 years old, just a baby. Anyway, y'all, I done did my 2 hours, and I thank y'all for coming on. Anything y'all want to talk about? Here is the HAPS in case y'all want to join. I would love for y'all to join the panel with me. Here is HAPS. Please join HAPS so this way I could get y'all on a panel. I love to have a conversation with y'all. I love good talk. I love us to share each other's experience, not judgmental, not attacking each other, just a conversation. Just be positive. I feel as though um, we could try to understand each other's point of view on a lot of things because we don't know everything. And I believe all could be used as a learning tool for each other. As long as you're not trying to be combative or trying to, okay, as long as you're not trying to be combative and, you're trying to learn, you know. So, anyway, thank you all and thank everybody on MG and Daniel and January and so anything everybody want to talk about, hit the thumbs up, and I'll come up here again and hopefully I can get more of y'all to come on here. Don't be shy, so we can have a conversation. Thank you to the TV guy who came off. I should have asked him his name, but sorry I didn't ask your name. I I was hoping to talk to him, and thank you for coming on. I really appreciate you coming on. Let me see if I can find him up here. Let's see if I can find him. Um, Information Man TV. Thank you, Information Man TV. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. Um, and everybody else who wants to come have a conversation. This is the thing. If you got somebody up here willing to talk to you, you'll find out different things and stuff. And it's always cool, when you have somebody to talk to, because there's a lot of questions we don't understand, and we both may not understand a lot as well. Thank you, Daniel. It's a lot of stuff we don't know, but I always feel as though we could always come to a medium and, we could talk about it. And then you go away, you may find something else. You're like, I want to ask this question. And, we just talk about it and try to find out where is the gray area. So, anyway, it is now 12:09. God bless you all. Have a blessed and safe night. And thank you for coming on. And be safe and keep your masks on. And if you take the vaccine, make sure you pray to Jesus, just in case you may come and see him soon. Make sure your business is in order. Let me stop. But I just want to share this with y'all. Y'all have a blessed and safe evening. And protect your family and protect your face with a mask. Good night, y'all.